My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Pacific Rim Uprising. And people do not like this movie. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 42% from the critics and a 37% from the audience. And I do remember seeing this movie back in March 2018, and I hated it. I thought this movie just really sucked. But, three things. The first is some of this movie actually has stayed with me over the years. Secondly, plenty of time has passed. Thirdly, my taste has changed. So I did just rewatch this movie for the first time, and you know what? I'm going to be that guy. I am going to be the one person who says this movie is good. So let's begin by talking about the cast. And John Boyega is so good. He was completely wasted in the Star Wars trilogy, which was just a real shame. But he's great in Attack the Block, he's great in Detroit, and he's great here. He's just very charismatic and he carries this movie so incredibly well. And Kaylee Spaney, I'm just going to say this, but she should have been Ellie in the Last of Us TV show. But I have become a fan of hers as of late, and I thought she did a really good job. She brought plenty of personality and heart to her character, so I was impressed. Scott Eastwood, I'm not the biggest fan of, but he does a pretty decent job here. Not a great performance, but good enough. Jing Tian does a perfectly fine job. Adria Arjona, I loved her in Hitman. I actually think she should have been nominated for an Oscar last year because she was so good in that movie. But she's just a generic side character here. She doesn't really have anything to work with. And Charlie Day. Okay, so I don't want to give anything away just in case you haven't seen this movie, but Charlie Day is what makes or breaks this movie for you. And I loved his performance. I loved how over the top he was. I love how crazy he was, and he stole every moment he was on screen. And Bon Gorman does a pretty great job as well. So the cast is actually really good, but the characters are pretty generic. They're not the most interesting characters for the most part. Guillermo del Toro directed the original movie, and that movie looked great. It had great action, and I will admit that the direction is a step downhill. But Stephen D. Knight still does a really good job. The CGI in this movie looks great, and I love the fact that the Legos had different looks and different weapons in this movie. It just takes the foundation of the first movie and expands upon it. And I also like how the action in this movie, I think, always takes place during the day. So it just feels like a different movie, and that's a good thing. If I want the first movie, I'll just go back and rewatch that one. So the action actually did deliver for me. It's very fun and exciting, and it can be thrilling. It doesn't have as much weight, but still really well done. I thought the sound in this movie was quite great. And okay, it's time to talk about what really elevates this movie for me, and it's the second half of this movie goes to some insane, really stupid places. And it's not going to be for everyone, but I loved it. I really did. Uh, there was one scene where Charlie Day goes home, and I don't want to give anything away, but it is one of the weirdest, most hilarious moments. Like, it's so good, and like I said, it's going to make or break the movie for you. And I don't know, I just like the fact the movie was willing to get weird. I liked how fun this movie was. And it ends on a note where I really wish we got a sequel. So, is this movie as good as the original? No. But I still think it's a damn good time. I had fun with this movie. I think it does some interesting things, and it's definitely entertaining enough to just enjoy. Like, yeah, so I'm going to give Pacific Rim Uprising a 7 out of 10. Okay, have you seen Pacific Rim Uprising? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin, out.